You open the bag telling yourself you will eat just one chip. 20 minutes later, the bag is empty and you feel confused. That was not weakness, and it was not a lack of willpower. Tens of millions are spent yearly by major brands on flavor design alone. Somewhere, a scientist calculated the exact crunch that keeps you reaching in. Food companies spend billions searching for one thing above all else. They call it the bliss point, the precise moment your brain surrenders. It is the exact level of sweetness that maximizes your craving. Not too little and not too much, perfectly, deliberately calibrated for you. Your favorite snack was reverse-engineered against your own biology and instincts. In the 1980s, the packaged food industry faced a strange problem. Shoppers had endless choices, but there was only so much appetite to sell. So the industry hired a mathematician to try and solve hunger itself. Moskowitz had studied psychophysics, the science of how the brain measures sensation. He believed there was a single mathematical peak for human pleasure. He tested dozens of formulations across sweetness levels in careful, systematic trials. For one sauce client alone, he tested 61 recipes to find the peak. He plotted the results into a smooth, perfect curve of craving. The top of that curve had a name that stuck, the bliss point. His methods reshaped how nearly every processed product on the shelf is built. The real magic hides in a combination scientists call palatability. It is the marriage of sugar, salt, and fat all working together. In nature, these three almost never appear together in the same food. Your brain has zero evolutionary defense against that engineered combination. A single potato chip delivers all three in one crisp, salty crunch. The former FDA commissioner investigated why he could not stop eating cookies. He coined a phrase for these engineered cravings: conditioned hypereating. Sugar, fat, and salt together light up the brain's reward circuit. They trigger dopamine, the same chemical tied to motivation and desire. Some research suggests these foods activate overlapping reward regions with addictive substances. In one famous rat study, animals chose sweetness over cocaine itself. His 2007 experiment quietly stunned the entire neuroscience world. In the study, 94% of rats picked sweetness over cocaine. The sweetness was saccharin, an artificial sweetener with 0 calories. But researchers warn firmly, rats are not people and food is not cocaine. Still, the pattern of overriding self-control looked unsettlingly familiar. Engineers also chase something called vanishing caloric density in the lab. Cheese puffs melt so fast your brain thinks you ate nothing. Because it dissolves instantly, your stomach never signals that you are full. So you keep eating, chasing a fullness that never quite arrives. Ultra-processed foods now make up 58% of the average American diet. Every texture, sound, and aftertaste is tuned by teams of specialists. They even measure the crunch decibels of a chip in sound labs. The louder and crisper the snap, the fresher your brain believes it tastes. The goal was never to satisfy your hunger, it was to defeat it. A satisfied customer stops eating, and a stopped customer stops buying. Fullness is not the destination, fullness is the enemy of the sale. These foods are built to override the signals in your body that say stop. That is why willpower alone so often loses the fight at the counter. Whole foods send strong fullness signals that engineered foods deliberately blur. An apple stops you naturally, while a cookie only asks for another. None of this means you are broken or hopelessly lacking discipline. Recognizing the design is the first real way to reclaim some control. Next time the bag empties too fast, remember it was built that way.